Hello and welcome to this edition of News Today. Without delay, let's explore the headlines first. Train accident in West Bengal have drawn attention to railway safety in India. SIPRI Yearbook 2024 Armaments, Disarmaments and International Security has been released. A comprehensive global study on persistent organic pollutants has been released. Gandhi Sagar Wildlife Sanctuary being developed as second home for cheetahs. World Crocodile Day 2024 marking 50th year of India's Crocodile Conservation Project. UN Sustainable Development Solutions Network released Sustainable Development Report 2024. Let us begin with the very first news. A recent train accident in West Bengal has once again highlighted the challenges faced by the Indian railways. As per the reports, the collision between a passenger express and a goods train was reportedly caused by a signalling error. This incident adds to the growing concern over railway safety in the country. In recent years, India has witnessed several rail accidents, including the collision of the Bengaluru-Howrah Superfast Express with a goods train in 2023. Despite these incidents, there has been a steep decline in the number of consequential train accidents, dropping from 473 in 2000 to 2001 to just 48 in 2022-23. Consequential train accidents are those with serious repercussions such as loss of life, injury, damage to railway property, or significant disruption of rail traffic. Let's explore the major causes behind these accidents. Derailments remain a significant issue as seen in the Bikaner-Guwahati Express derailment in 2022. Unmanned railway crossings are the second major cause of rail accidents. Other causes include fire incidents in trains, often due to short-circuiting in electrical wirings and signaling errors, sometimes by local pilots. To combat these issues, several safety measures have been implemented. Kavach, an automatic train protecting system, prevents trains from passing red signals and activates an automatic braking system. The Rashtriya Rail Sanraksha Kosh was established for the replacement, renewal and upgradation of critical safety assets. Additionally, electrical and electronic interlocking system, which are computer-based systems that prevent more than one train from running on the same track. Despite these efforts, challenges remain. Congestion on railway tracks, where the same track is used for both passenger and goods trains, is a significant issue. Technical glitches and system failures, including poor signaling systems, further complicate matters. There is also a lack of sufficient funds for upgrading to the safer LHP coaches. To address these safety concerns, various committees have been established. The Justice Khanna or Railway Safety Review Committee in 1998 led to the creation of a dedicated safety department within Indian Railways. The High-Level Safety Review Committee, chaired by Dr. Anil Kakodkar in 2012, recommended switching from integral coach factory design coaches to the much safer LHB design coaches. In conclusion, by addressing existing challenges and implementing the recommendations of safety committees, we can hope to make Indian Railways safer for everyone.
In our next top story, the Stockholm International Peace Research Institute, or SIPRI, has released its highly anticipated Yearbook 2024, focusing on armaments, disarmament and international security. Established in 1966, SIPRI is an independent international institute based in Sweden that provides essential insights into global peace and security. Let's dive into the key highlights of the report, particularly concerning nuclear armament. The Yearbook reveals that 9 nuclear-armed states, the US, Russia, UK, France, China, India, Pakistan, North Korea and Israel, are continuing to modernize their nuclear arsenals. Out of the total 12,121 nuclear warheads, almost 90% belong to the USA and Russia. However, global reductions of operational warheads have stalled, especially with China expanding its nuclear arsenal. In a significant development, India has slightly expanded its nuclear arsenal to 172 warheads in 2023, surpassing Pakistan's nuclear arsenal for the first time. Alongside Israel, India primarily uses plutonium as the fissile material in its nuclear weapons. But the journey towards nuclear disarmament faces several challenges. The ongoing war in Ukraine has negatively impacted bilateral and multilateral engagement on nuclear arms control, raising concerns about potential nuclear disasters. Additionally, worsening strategic relations between Russia and the US have led to Russia suspending its membership in the 2010 New START Treaty and withdrawing its ratification of the Comprehensive Nuclear Test Ban Treaty. Tensions in the Middle East also complicate disarmament efforts. The Israel-Hamas conflict has undermined initiatives to secure Iran's cooperation with the International Atomic Energy Agency and to engage Israel in discussions about establishing a Middle East zone free of nuclear and other weapons of mass destruction. Despite these challenges, there are several significant measures in place aimed at nuclear disarmament. The Treaty on the Prohibition of Nuclear Weapons, adopted in 2017, prohibits the development, testing, production, acquisition, possession, or use of nuclear weapons. Similarly, the Treaty on the Non-Proliferation of Nuclear Weapons of 1968 seeks to prevent the spread of nuclear weapons, promote cooperation in the peaceful uses of nuclear energy, and achieve nuclear disarmament. The Comprehensive Test Ban Treaty of 1996 bans nuclear weapon tests in the atmosphere, outer space, and underwater. In conclusion, the SIPRI Yearbook 2024 provides a crucial snapshot of the current state of nuclear armament and disarmament efforts worldwide. While significant challenges remain, international treaties and agreements continue to play a vital role in promoting global security and nuclear disarmament.
In our next news, let's delve into a comprehensive global study on persistent organic pollutants implemented by the UN Environment Programme and funded by the Global Environment Facility or GEF. The study was conducted to monitor the status of 30 POPs listed under the Stockholm Convention as of 2021. Let's begin with the key findings. There has been a notable decline in the use of 12 POPs due to regulatory actions taken globally since the year 2004. For instance, the use of DDT, a synthetic insecticide, has decreased in human milk samples by over 70% since 2004. However, replacement POPs such as per and polyfluoroalkyl substances have been detected at high levels, posing new challenges. So what exactly are POPs? Persistent organic pollutants are carbon-based chemical substances that persist in the environment. They can be pesticides, industrial chemicals, or unwanted byproducts of industrial processes. Examples include dieldrin, endrin, and heptachlor. POPs resist photolytic, biological, and chemical degradation, making them particularly harmful over time. Key physical and chemical properties of POPs include their often halogenated nature and low water solubility. They are highly lipid soluble, facilitating bioaccumulation in living organisms. Their semi-volatile nature enables them to travel long distance in the atmosphere before deposition occurs. The impact of POPs are far-reaching and severe. They are linked to cancer, liver damage, decreased fertility, and increased risk of asthma and thyroid disease due to their endocrine disrupting properties. Now let's discuss the framework governing these substances. The Stockholm Convention is an international legally binding agreement on POPs. It was adopted in the year 2001 and entered into force in 2004. India ratified the Stockholm Convention in 2006. To enforce this, the Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change notified the regulations of POP Rules 2018 under the provisions of Environment Protection Act 1986. The GEF serves as a designated interim financial mechanism for the convention. In conclusion, while significant progress has been made in reducing the use of some POPs, the emergence of replacement substances like PFAS present new challenges. Continued global cooperation and stringent regulations are crucial to mitigate the impacts of these persistent pollutants.
Ahead, let's delve into an exciting news from Madhya Pradesh, where the state government has just announced that preparations are complete for the translocation of cheetahs to the Gandhi Sagar Wildlife Sanctuary. This development is part of the ambitious Project Cheetah, which aims to reintroduce these magnificent creatures to Indian soil. Let's take a moment to understand the context of this project. Project Cheetah, launched in 2022, is the world's first intercontinental large wild carnivore translocation project. It's part of the larger Project Tiger initiative, with the goal to reintroduce at least 50 cheetahs into various protected areas across India over the next 5 years. This remarkable effort is being spearheaded by the National Tiger Conservation Authority. Now, why was the Gandhi Sagar Wildlife Sanctuary chosen for this important mission? Located along the border between Madhya Pradesh and Rajasthan, GSWS spans over 368.62 square kilometers, with the river Chambal flowing through it and the Gandhi Sagar Dam lying within its bounds. The sanctuary boasts a diverse range of flora and fauna, including Arjuna and Jal Jamun trees, and species like the panther, nilgai, chikara, and wolf. The decision to select GSWS was influenced by its unique topography and ecosystem. The rocky terrain and shallow topsoil, along with hills, plateaus, and river catchment areas, make it an ideal habitat. Additionally, the savanna ecosystem, categorized by open grasslands, interspersed with dry deciduous trees and shrubs, closely mirrors the cheetah's natural habitat. Notably, the Chambal Valley within the sanctuary is evergreen, providing a lush environment for these cats. However, the sanctuary is not without its challenges. An insufficient prey base poses a significant issue, as was the case in Kuno National Park. Moreover, the existing leopard population in GSWS could pose a threat to the cheetahs, leading to competition for the same prey and potential clashes. Now let's talk a bit about the cheetahs themselves. Known as the world's fastest mammals, cheetahs hold a special place in wildlife. Interestingly, unlike other big cats such as lions, tigers, leopards, and jaguars, cheetahs don't roar. There are two species of cheetah, the African cheetah, listed as vulnerable by IUCN, and the Asiatic cheetah, listed as critically endangered. Sadly, cheetahs were declared extinct in India in 1952, making their reintroduction a historic and symbolic effort. The translocation of cheetahs to the Gandhi Sagar Wildlife Sanctuary marks a significant step in wildlife conservation in India. As we look forward to welcoming these majestic animals back to our forests, it's a reminder of the delicate balance between nature and human efforts.
Ahead in the news, as we celebrate World Crocodile Day 2024, we also commemorate the 50th anniversary of India's Crocodile Conservation Project. This landmark initiative began in 1975 at Odisha's Bhitarkanika National Park with the assistance of the United Nations Development Programme and the Food and Agriculture Organization. Crocodiles, the largest surviving species of the vertebrate class Reptilia, primarily inhabit freshwater swamps, lakes, and rivers, although one saltwater species exists. These nocturnal animals regulate their body temperature to a limited degree, making them poikilothermic. In India, we have three main species of crocodiles, each facing unique challenges such as habitat destruction, egg predation, illegal poaching, dam construction, and sand mining. Let's explore these species in detail. The estuarine or saltwater crocodile is the largest living reptile on Earth. Listed as least concern by the IUCN, it enjoys protection under Schedule 1 of the Wildlife Protection Act 1972 and is included in the Appendix 1 of CITES. The species is found in Bhitarkanika, the Sundarbans, and the Andaman and Nicobar Islands. Secondly, the mugger or marsh crocodile, identifiable by its broad snouts and burrowing behavior for nesting, is classified as vulnerable by the IUCN. Also protected under Schedule 1 of the Wildlife Protection Act, it is present in 15 states across India, primarily within the Ganga River drainage system. The gharial, named for the bulbous knob at the end of its long narrow snout, primarily feeds on fish. The species is critically endangered according to the IUCN and is also listed under Schedule 1 of the Wildlife Protection Act and Appendix 1 of CITES. Gharials inhabit freshwater rivers such as the Chambal, Girva, Ghagra, Son, and Gandak. Bhitarkanika National Park, located in Odisha, is a critical habitat for these crocodiles. As India's second largest mangrove ecosystem after the Sundarbans, Bhitarkanika is a Ramsar site, highlighting its importance as a wetland of international significance. The park is a network of creeks and canals fed by the Brahmini, Baitarni, Dhamra, and Patsala rivers. It hosts the largest congregation of saltwater crocodiles along with a variety of other wildlife, including water monitor lizards, pythons, and hyenas. In conclusion, the Crocodile Conservation Project has been pivotal in the revival and protection of these magnificent reptiles. Over the past 50 years, the project has not only increased crocodile populations, but also raised awareness about the importance of conserving their habitats.
Ahead in the news, we delve into the latest insights from the UN Sustainable Development Solutions Network, which has just released the Sustainable Development Report 2024. This annual report, published by SDSN since 2016, reviews the progress made by 193 UN member states on the Sustainable Development Goals, or SDGs. Let's start with a bit of background on SDSN. Established in 2012, the SDSN operates under the UN Secretary General, promoting integrated approaches to implement the SDGs and the Paris Agreement. They achieve this through education, research, policy analysis, and global cooperation. Now, let's dive into the key highlights of the report. On average, only 16% of the SDG targets are on track to be met globally by 2030. Particularly off track are SDG 2, Zero Hunger, SDG 11, Sustainable Cities and Communities, SDG 14, Life Below Water, SDG 15, Life on Land, and SDG 16, Peace, Justice, and Strong Institutions. SDG progress varies significantly across countries. Nordic countries are leading the charge, with Finland ranked first, followed by Sweden and Denmark. BRICS countries are making significant progress, but poorer and more vulnerable countries are lagging far behind. Unfortunately, India is ranked 109th out of 166 countries. While India is on track for poverty reduction and quality education targets, there has been decreasing progress in sustainable cities and climate action targets. A new feature in this year's report is the Index of Support to UN-based Multilateralism. This index ranks countries based on their engagement with the UN system. Barbados ranks the highest, with India at 139th place, while the US ranks last. The report also includes some crucial recommendations from the UN SDSN. They emphasize that the Sustainable Development Agenda should remain the core of global cooperation through 2050 and should be properly financed. Strengthening UN agencies and systematically monitoring UN-based multilateralism are also key recommendations. Furthermore, they highlight the need for enhancing multilateral governance of technological risks and ensuring universal access to vital technologies and R&D capacities. Another significant recommendation is the establishment of a UN Parliamentary Assembly and reforming the UN Security Council, including adding India as a permanent member and adopting procedures to override a veto. In conclusion, the Sustainable Development Report 2024 paints a mixed picture of global progress on the SDGs. While some countries are leading the way, there is still much work to be done, especially for poorer and more vulnerable nations. The personality news for today is Laxman Satpathy. His birth anniversary was observed recently. Laxman Satpathy, born in the princely state of Sonpur in British India, now in Odisha. Further, if we talk about his contributions, he was one of the forefront leaders of the Sonpur Prajamandal movement. Inspired by Gandhiji's call for non-cooperation, he and his brother Ram Satpathy raised their voice against the ruler of princely state of Sonpur. He launched underground activities which took a severe turn during the Quit India movement 1942. He, along with other Prajamandal leaders, was instrumental in the merger of Sonpur with Odisha, January 1948. Through his brave actions, he exemplified the values of courage, determination, and leadership.
As we conclude today's main news, let's have a look at some quick updates. European Union has approved Nature Restoration Plan that is the first of its kind. It is a continent-wide and comprehensive law that forms part of the European Union. European Green Deal aims for net zero emissions of greenhouse gases by 2050. Punjab government is actively promoting direct seeding of rice technique. Talking about DSR, it is a modern rice cultivation technique where rice seeds are directly sown into the field, as opposed to traditional method of growing seedlings in a nursery, then transplanting into flooded fields. A documentary film on conservation of the Mercury Island has premiered in the 18th Mumbai International Film Festival. Mercury Island is a small rocky island in Atlantic Ocean off the Diamond Coast of Namibia. First trial train run has been conducted on Chenab Rail Bridge in Riasi district of Jammu and Kashmir. This bridge is a part of Udhampur-Srinagar-Baramulla Rail Link project. India has planned large-scale biobitumen project from biomass and agricultural waste. Bitumen is a black substance produced through distillation of crude oil. India currently imports about half of its annual requirement of bitumen. Scientists have successfully mapped brain activity using functional ultrasound imaging. Functional ultrasound imaging is an emerging technique that offers sensitive, large-scale, high-resolution neural imaging. International Labour Conference annual meeting of International Labour Organization's member states takes the first step towards international regulation of biological hazards at work. Department of Telecommunication has invited calls for proposals on 5G intelligent village and quantum encryption algorithms to catalyze innovation in the telecom sector. These proposals shall be funded by Telecom Technology Development Fund. Before we sign off, let's challenge your understanding in today's installment of Test Your Knowledge. Thank you for joining us. We hope you found this episode of News Today engaging. For the solution to today's quiz and to access the PDF version of News Today, remember to visit the provided links in the description.